Hey, and what's good, everyone? It's T of T's Compendium. Oops, sorry about that. Let me kill this. There we go. All right, there we go. Has some stuff, was working on some stuff, and yeah. Anyway, T of T's Compendium here with y'all. So, don't need these anymore. Get rid of those. So, welcome. We've got some stuff to talk about. Ran across this story, and it's about J6. There was a new video released, and some things come to light in this thing that make you ask questions. I've watched a guy, and I'm not going to say his name because YouTube hates him. They'll probably give me a strike just for saying it. But anyway, we'll just call him Dan B. And if you know, you know. But he was a Secret Service agent for 12 years. So I really wanted to hear what his take on this all was. So with that, let's get into it. As I said, the event that occurred on that day on J6, I remember hearing that there were a couple of pipe that would detonate, if you understand what I'm saying. And the U.S. government actually considers those devices to be weapons of mass destruction. I heard about it that day, and I haven't heard about it since, which I've forgotten about it. Honestly, I'd totally forgotten about it. And so I'm like looking at this new video, and I'm going, what is going on here? And so they released the surveillance footage of when the device was discovered. And it raises more questions than it answers. So, I noticed it. There's a gentleman by the name of Darren Beatty who has been really staying on this. And he's had help. It's Representative Massey, I believe. I'm not sure where he's out of. I'm not sure. But he has been on this. And he's been after this footage. And he finally got it. So Darren Beatty, and I'll leave a link to his comments. Well, I'm not sure how I'll do that because I just started doing these lives like this on YouTube. I'll somehow get it in the description or something, but I'll get you a link to that. But he's with Revolver News, and he seems to be doing a good job on this. He did a very good article on it. In fact, I'll show that to you right now. Oh. All right, come on. Why isn't it coming up? Well, I guess I'll have to do this the hard way. Oh, I know why it's not coming up. Again, please forgive me. I'm still new to this. There we go. Still not working right, but okay. Anyway, we'll carry on here. So he names it Secret Service foreknowledge or criminal negligence. New evidence surfaces in FBI's J6. There it is. Okay. So he goes on and he talks about this, and he talks about how Ray Epps is threatened to sue him and all these different things. He talks about how by questioning an FBI agent had his security clearance revoked, and then he came into question about sharing one of Revolver's articles. So, but this is the most important video you've never heard about, and we're going to go over it. So, in fact, let's just watch it real quick, and we'll go through parts of it, and he notes different parts, and that's what we're going to do as well, is we're going to go through this. But I highly recommend that you go out and read his article. It's a great article, and he breaks it down and points out some of the things I'm going to be pointing out to you right now. So let's go to that video. Oop. Got to have it up. There we go. All right. So if you note the time, it's 1:05. Okay. Now, just to give you a timeline, two of them were found, one by the RNC, one by the DNC. And the timeline's important. Apparently, about 15 minutes or 15, 20 minutes before this, they discovered the one at the RNC. Supposedly, the timer had stopped at 20 till, and it was like, supposed to be like 20 to 1, apparently. But watch this. This is very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit here. And there is no sound. This is all closed circuit. So I'm going to jump ahead just a hair. Okay. Note these two cars. Note this guy right here. See him walking up to the Metro PD police car and talking to the officer driving. And if you notice, he kind of gestures back this way. And this is where he's informing them that he has discovered this device. Now he goes around to the passenger side, speaks to that officer. You can see it's just a normal day. Now he comes to this black SUV, and this is where it starts to get interesting. Because what is this black SUV? Come to find out, it's Secret Service. Why is Secret Service at DNC? They don't. We'll get into it. We'll figure it out. But I want you to watch this. Now he walks away. Now he's got his hood up and everything. Now, he just informed them that that device is over there. They're not even getting out of their cars yet. Watch this. I'm going to fast forward a little bit, but be aware it was 1:06 when he informed them. Watch this. Oh, there goes the police. No. Oh, no. Must be something more important going on than a mass destruction device being there at the DNC. Okay. So here it is, almost 2 minutes, minute and a half at least, before they even get out of their car. And look at this. They're just standing around. Now, I don't expect them. I expect them to be professional. And I don't expect them to get out and run and, all this. But I would certainly think that it would warrant a little more urgency, shall we say. So now two of them get out over on the other side. And you see they kind of go over there, kind of look. And they're kind of talking to the Secret Service. Why are they there? And he walks back by. Now watch this. Watch this. Look at down in the corner. Oh, wait, you can't really see it. 1 second while I adjust this, because I want you to be able to see all of this. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, now look right in here, and you'll see what I'm talking about. These people have been informed that it's there. Okay, now apparently somebody has called it in, because now this camera pans over and zooms in, and it's right there. See it right there? But they focus in on a coffee cup and scooter. A coffee cup means somebody was sitting there. Why is that important? We'll get to that too. And we'll get into the importance of this camera as well. So now the Secret Service are out. They've been informed this device is there, but they let these kids walk right by within feet. That's not protocol. That should have never happened. Let me give you a little quick story here on why I know that shouldn't have happened. I was a truck driver, and I was living in a hotel. It's one of those extended stay ones where that way I knew somebody was watching my stuff while I was gone. And came back from a run, and there were cop cars everywhere. And apparently somebody on the opposite side of the hotel was in the hospital, and they discovered a pipe bomb in his room. A couple of them. And I was on the exact opposite side of the hotel, and they would not allow me to go even up to my room. And I mean, it was a long distance away from where that was. So there's no way they should have let people walk by like that. No way. So I'm not sure what's going on here. But, oh, and there goes another one. Still something must be more important. See? Letting them walk by. Look at this camera. Look at this guy. He comes up, takes the pictures of it, gives them a thumbs up, walks off. Now the Secret Service starts to leave. Why? I'll tell you why. At least what I believe is the reason why. But this has been going on now for what, almost 5 minutes? 5-6 minutes? I would think if you have a protectee that you're trying to work with, and you've been reported that there's a device, I would think that your priority is get that person out of there. And we do know who it was. It was VP-elect Kamala Harris. This is the DNC. She was inside there. That was her protection detail. And I'll show you how we know that. So there you go. All right. Now they start showing up, and he takes off because he's going to, I think, from what I heard, there's a Metro unit as well. The Secret Service, when they are in DC or wherever they're at, they get local to roll with them. Okay. Now, let's get into this. I'm trying to think really how to start this. So you notice that according to the FBI, that device was dropped the night before. Now, I want to show you what it looks like. All right? Let me show you what the device looks like and where it's sitting at. So here's footage of them, supposedly the still footage or whatever, that they say where this guy or girl, whoever, planted it. It's from the night before. Now, that would be like 17 hours. And when you see the device, you're going to be like, what? Why would you plan it 17 hours ahead of time? Because here's the device. That's the device. That's an egg timer. Egg timer doesn't go 17 hours. It just doesn't. Mr. B, who used to be an instructor, said that this looks exactly like ones they used in training to teach. But you're going to tell me that this bench with a coffee cup on it, somebody was sitting there and they didn't even see it. I mean, they didn't even try to hide it. They just set it down. Now, Mr. Beatty, I hope I say that right, but Mr. Beatty, the FBI was saying, look at our footage, this is where we got them putting it down. He had that footage analyzed that they had and found, he claims, I'm not making the claim, he claims they had a frame rate of about 1.6 or 1.7 frames per minute or per second. Average, the lowest grade is 8 frames. So he believes that it was doctored. I'm not making that claim. I don't know. I haven't seen it. So I don't know. But I do know it's grainy enough they couldn't use facial recognition. Another curious thing about not being able to identify who did it, they had GeoNet up. That's how they got a lot of J6ers, was by using this GeoNet technology from the phone company and placing them where they were at the time. Now, this guy's by himself in the middle of the night, and they can't find the GeoNet. They can't figure it out. You know why? Because amazingly, that data got corrupted. Wow. Okay. You say so. I'm telling you, man, it gets strange. It gets stranger and stranger from here. Now, you may ask yourself, how do we know it was Kamala Harris? Well, first, let's take a look at what she has to say about that morning. All right? Let me find it here real quick. Sorry, I accidentally moved it. Oh, here we go. Okay.
And I was told
that. All right, Kamala, where were you that morning?
I was at the Capitol that morning, and then I was in a meeting, and I was told that I should leave. And then I was taken to a secure location with my husband. We watched in horror. You are absolutely right. It was seismic. It was an inflection moment. Sometimes we think an inflection moment is the bringing of something that is positive. No, it was a in many ways a reckoning. It was an exposure of the vulnerability of our democracy. I was at the Capitol that morning, and then I was in a meeting, and
Okay, did you hear that? I was in the Capitol that morning. I was in a meeting. And I was told I should leave, and I was taken to a secure location. The implication is that she was at the Capitol until the event happened. But we know that's not true. We know that's not true. I'll show you how we know that's not true. Let's go to Politico. Let's go to Politico, and let's see what they have to say about where Miss Harris was on that day. And Politico, they're a left-leaner. They're not conservative at all. So here you go. Now note the date that this is, okay? The event we're talking about was January 6th, 21. This is November 4 of that year, okay? So almost a year goes by. Almost a full year goes by. All right? Let me highlight this. But DOJ is now moving to correct the record, acknowledging in court that Harris was in fact away from the Capitol during the riot and only returned later to cast the vote that certified her own ascension to the vice presidency. The government, and this is quoted by one of the prosecutors, the government incorrectly stated that Vice President-elect Harris was present in the U.S. Capitol at the time of the attack. Prosecutors wrote in a court filing in 1J6 case Tuesday. In fact, Vice President-elect Harris was not present at that particular time, though she was present earlier in the day and was present later that day. Now you ask, yeah, but does that mean she was at the DNC? Well, yeah, it does, because I don't care what you do, you can Google or whatever you want where she was that day. Or say, Harris at DNC J6. Everybody reports that she was there and that she barely escaped this event, and I'm talking about the event that we're discussing now, the mass destruction event. So in MEC, ABC, Politico, all of them say she was at the DNC. So that's why we know that Secret Service detail was there for her. So what we've got now is a series of questions, really. Well, I don't think we'll ever find out why she was there. We can speculate as we go through this. We'll figure it out. So it brings to question, in my mind at least, and I would think yours, that would be a awesome political tool. I survived this attempt by some crazy MAGA to boom me, right? I mean, and don't get me wrong, man. They're not going to miss a trick. So why haven't they done that? Why haven't they said anything at all about that? Just curious to me. I mean, they use J6 all the time. Constantly talking about it, but never about this. Doesn't that seem a little suspicious to you? Okay, so according to Mr. B, this is totally not the way that the protecting team, the Secret Service, He said it's totally out of character. He doesn't understand anything about it. And like I said, he was 12-year Secret Service. He was on the presidential detail as well as being an instructor. So why were they so casual about it? It doesn't make sense. Also, a curious thing is, like I said, the corruption of the data so that they could find the geofence, but that particular time the data was corrupted. That's a little suspicious, a little bit suspicious. Here's another thing as well, and I've got more going here. So you go, okay, well, let's see the Secret Service. Let's see what they were talking about. We'll figure it out from there, right? One problem with that. Just one little problem with that. You want to see what it is? National Archives asked Secret Service to probe deleted text sent around J6. Man, it's coinky-dink after coinky-dink, isn't it? National Archives on Tuesday requested that the Secret Service investigate the potential unauthorized deletion of agency text messages sent and received around J6. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure everything's on the up and up. Oh man. I'm telling you, people, it's they're lying. I'm just gonna straight up say it. They're lying. They're lying to us. If you look, also, let's see. Oh, I was going to talk about the camera. Now, you notice that camera. It's known as a pan traverse zoom PTZ camera. Now, one of Mr. B's sources, and he has quite a few, he specializes on the camera aspects, on surveillance videos and things like that. He said the interesting thing about a PTV video camera is that it is manned 24/7. 24/7. Now, let's go back and look at that video again and take a look at, let's take a look at this. I want to show you something. We'll fast forward to get to that point. Okay, there, right here. See, it's panning, it's traversing, and it's zooming. Now notice, that device is right there. Right there. Coffee cup's right there. But the thing is about the camera, if it's manned 24/7, they'd have seen this. They'd have had it recorded. They'd have zoomed in and saw what was going on. According to Mr. B's expert, or no, I'm sorry, according to another source of his that was in the know that night, this camera was not manned. This camera was out of the loop. It was shut off. Just piling up coincidences here, aren't we? Just stacking them. Just stacking them. But aside from that, even with this camera out, he said you never put one of these without having other still frame cameras. The reason being, that way it's still recording the area. In case you're viewed over this way, it's still viewing over here and recording over here. See what I'm saying? So why do we only have one image or one video of supposedly dropping it. I don't know. But let's see. Let me check something real quick here. And let's see if they got the video. Here's a crazy thing too. Let me show you this. How's that scooter still there? It's the same scooter. So I don't get it. But here's the video. Let's see if I can play this. Yeah. Nope, it's not video. Okay. See, I don't see the scooter. Unless it's being hidden here. I don't know. So, let's take a look at some other things. According to other reports, this guard is always there. There's always a guard stationed at this entrance. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just saying what's being reported. I don't know if that's actually true or not. And again, he highlights that. I don't know what that is.
You see this black box right here?
Let's
well,
see.
I'm going to show you something right now. Some people are concerned that they might have to go for it.
This $100 cartooning kit.
All right, we're not going to play that. My apologies. All right. So, what can we kind of glean from this? Oh, and I wanted to say also, Julie Kelly is reporting on this also. She talks about the discovery of the two devices. Let's see here. Let me pull that up for you. Here we go. Okay. In the 15-minute time span before the joint session of Congress convened at 1 o'clock, notice everything's being found and aimed at 1 o'clock. Why? Because that's when Congress was supposed to convene to confirm the electoral votes. And there was a lot of people had a lot of questions about the mail-ins. That's where the big hang-up is the mail-ins. It's too easy to cheat that way. And they were notified of that by CISA before the election. So they knew. And I think they counted on it myself. But in the 15-minute time span before the joint session of Congress convened at 1 o'clock on J6, two incidents that set the stage for the day's ensuing chaos happened simultaneously. First, a man named Ryan Samsel, after taking direction from Ray Epps, charged in. It's on video. If you want, you can go out and you can find it. You see Epps come up, say something to him, and then seconds later, boom. Around the same time, a woman named Carlin Younger, who just happened to be walking to a laundry facility near the RNC, just happened to look down and see what she believed was one of these devices, nestled between a dumpster and a fence right next to the building. Both events fueled panic in the nation's capital just as a contentious meeting to certify the Electoral College vote of the 2020 election got underway. Then the news got worse. Capitol Police reportedly discovered another device outside the DNC. New York Times immediately broke the story that the device was found at the RNC and it was successfully destroyed. The package at the DNC has yet to be identified, according to top Democrats briefed on the matter, who is not authorized to speak publicly about it. Times story went viral. Now, if you got a story that's going viral, I would think you would keep it up. I think you would talk more about it. I certainly believe that the Democrats would be using it like a cudgel, just smashing about, they tried to do this to her and blah, blah, blah. You know, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm putting down. Next day, the Capitol Police issued this statement. The USCP, United States Capitol Police, Hazardous Materials Response Team, determined that both devices were in fact hazardous and could cause great harm to public safety. Then why'd you let these kids walk by it? Devices were disabled and turned over to the FBI for further investigation and analysis. Okay? Now, here's an aspect. FBI is saying they were planted the night before. The Secret Service would have run a sweep with the Vice President-elect going to the DNC. They'd have run a sweep. They'd have had dogs, everything else. That thing was just sitting out. Are you telling me that they totally missed it on their sweep and that the dogs never smelled it? Nah. No, not buying it. Not buying it at all. Not even for a second. So, yeah, there's just a lot of things that just are not adding up on this thing. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking about it, but it makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't even know what to say on it, honestly. It's so ridiculous. All I can say is they're lying to you. They are lying to you. They have to be. Because this makes no sense whatsoever. So, yeah. I mean, they're lying. How do we trust them? They are lying. Why isn't this adding up? They have to be. I think because this makes no sense whatsoever. I'm just going to put a little aside. Oh, sorry about that. I just wanted to make sure it was still streaming. Yeah. I mean, make sure that hadn't been taken down yet. How do we trust them? So, why isn't this adding up? They have to be. I think I'm not sure what's going on. I'm just going to put a personally. Aside. Oh, sorry about that. I'm thinking that it was still streaming. This was maybe possibly. I don't know if you want to really go with some conspiracy theory, because there's no way we'll probably ever find out about this. There's probably no way. But if people are correct and that the Capitol thing was instigated and I'm sorry about that. If that was instigated and Harris had no real reason to be at the DNC where this device was, you almost kind of wonder if it was a backup plan in case the first one didn't work. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying anything. I'm just asking questions. But you kind of wonder. It's like, why isn't this being talked about? Why did this get hushed up? Nobody talks about it anymore. Why did it take Representative Massey so much effort? And by the way, the video that we were watching was from Representative Massey's site where he posted it up. And so, yeah, it's something's not adding up, folks. Tell me what you think it is, because I'm at a loss. I'm at a total loss. So, well, there you have it. That's what I came to talk to you about today, and we'll see you next time. Have a blessed one. Peace, and see you on the next story.